Hi everyone and welcome back to Famous Pages. Today we're talking about the poem Air and Angels. As usual, let's dive straight into the summary and then move on to the line by line analysis. Okay, so let's talk structure first. There are two stanzas, 14 lines each, almost like two separate sonnets, which again links into the contrast John makes to traditional love here, the more material love, and our kind, the more spiritual love. So we again go back to that topic of what is love and that difficulty of defining it. Is it material? Is it spiritual? Is it physical? What is love? So this is the theme that Donne is exploring here. And that distinction in the kind of two separate sonnets feel is also apt to the male and the female, the difference in that. And the line length is very inconstant because it doesn't feel very controlled. It's almost like within Air and Angels, Donne is trying to work it out as he's telling us about it. And to be honest, after we read this poem, I would understand because the concept of the angels during Donne's time is not straightforward at all, so I would personally be also working it out as we progress. It follows quite an interesting rhyme scheme for a sonnet as well. A, B, B, A, B, A, C, D, C, D, D, E, E, E. So it's not Petrarchan, it's not traditional Elizabethan. Likewise, I think it also once again mirrors the uncertainty about angels, love, existence. So in general, slightly confusing, slightly uncertain poem. Okay, so I'll try to explain more about the whole angels concept as we dive more into this poem, but just the key thing to note is that during this time, men would have been seen as angels who would be expressed through air, and love would need a physical force to manifest, so it would take kind of action manifest itself in the woman's body. So it's only now that we really see angels as kind of like, oh, angels are women. But back then it was more like angels are men and women are the physical form of love. So angels, if they take the physical form, if angels decide to come down from their spiritual form and come down on earth, they would take the male form. And if they would do it through air. And so women are kind of the manifestation of love, which would ground them and allow them to keep being material. Which also interestingly is why the angel on the cover of this is a man. Likely, because during this time it would have been seen as if angels come down, they would take the form of the man. Women would not be the angels. Twice or thrice had I loved thee, before I knew thy face or name. So in a voice, so in a shapeless flame, angels affect us oft, and worshipped be. Still when, to where thou wert, I came, some lovely glorious nothing I did see. Twice or thrice had I loved thee. I loved you twice or three times before I saw you. It's a similar joke to the good morrow that, oh, I had many relationships before you, but you're my first real relationship. You're the first real woman that I love. All the many relationships I had were just practice and preparation for you. It's very much the image of the womanizer trying to assure his newfound love that you are my only one and it has been like that all my life. So in a voice, so in a shapeless flame. So that idea is that people fell in love with a divine aura. So when you're looking to fall in love with someone, you're not actually looking to fall in love with them through their physical body. You think that you're falling in love through their physical body, but really you're falling in love through their divine aura. It's like the divine radiance that people were considered to have instead of having a physical body. I suppose it likely links into that concept of soulmates that we talked about in this playlist earlier, how your soul is really one thing but it's split into two. So finding your soulmate is like finding the other half of your soul. So perhaps it links into that. That's where that idea of radiance came from, maybe. That idea that actually you're not attracted to their bodies, you're just attracted to their very being, to that divine radiance, that divine kind of shine, that aura that they give off. So, and likewise he says, angels affect us often and are worshipped this way. So angels also affect us just like that divine radiance would affect us. When I came to where you were, I saw some lovely glorious nothing. So because I loved you, but you haven't taken on a physical form, is kind of the interpretation that I'm like that air that has that materialized into an angel that has materialized into a man, and then I loved you so much, but you haven't materialized into the shape of a woman yet, because our love was not quite there yet. And of course, being done, he's not quite so religious yet, so we can't afford to ignore the references to the naughty parts of this poem, like when I saw you, I came. And also I saw some glorious nothing, a hole, an emptiness. We have seen this reference before in the passage in Hamlet where he talks to Ophelia and he says, "What is that between your legs? Nothing. But since my soul, whose child love is, takes limbs of flesh and else could nothing do, more subtle than the parent is, love must not be, but take a body too. And therefore what thou wert and who, I bid love ask, and now that it assume thy body, I allow, and fix itself in thy lip, eye, and brow. But since my soul," because my body, "whose child love is." So my body is the parent of love, because I'm the angel. So it takes the limbs of flesh, because otherwise there would be nothing we could do. So how can we have a relationship that's physical if you're like air? And you're not material yet. So in other words, I have to take on this body because my soul has given birth to this love. I need to take on the physical form so that we can have a physical relationship. More subtle than the parent is, love must not be. So more subtle than my soul, love shouldn't be. My soul is the emptiness, so love shouldn't be empty. So you should be taking on a physical form. That is again why I had to take a body. So what you were, and it was you who made me love, you took on a physical form too. Now you fix yourself and exist in your lip, eye, and brow. Now you've materialized because of our love for each other. I asked my child to show me who you were, and now I see that love is in your body because it has attached itself to your lip, eye, and brow. Fix itself in thy lip, eye, and brow. So I see that it is love because it's materialized in the form of you. So very complicated conceit there. And also, just as an aside, I'm really interested in this poem because I think it's a lot more difficult than some of the other poems that we have looked at in the playlist so far. So there really is a lot to unpick and think about here. Whilst thus to ballast love I thought, and so more steadily to have gone, with wares which would sink admiration, I saw I had love's pinnace overfraught. Okay, so in the next conceit, the woman goes from being love to being a ship. A ballast is like the weight that we typically throw over the side of the ship to keep it grounded there, to keep it from floating away into the ocean. So make it higher, make it lower. So I thought that when my love was embodied in you, we would be like a balanced ship and more steadily to have gone. We would have been able to keep a straight route because that ballast is there to balance the ship out, to help keep it afloat, and go more steadily, go more evenly, with wares, with merchant goods, so would sink admiration. We were beyond a simple fling. It would be something more than just my desire for you or me thinking, wow, what a beautiful ship, or my lust. No, it was true love. But then I understood that I had overloaded my love. My love's pinnace overfraught. With my pinnace overwrought, overloaded. So pinnace, it's like a small boat that you could use to transport goods to the bigger ship. And pinnace is, of course, the naughty homophone here for a male sexual organ. I saw that it was more than just a crush. So when we actually had our physical relationship and when I realized, ooh, maybe I overloaded this girl, that's when I realized it's more than just a crush. It's true love. It's true admiration for you. Every thy hair for love to work upon is much too much. Some fitter must be sought. For nor in nothing nor in things, a stream and scattering bright can love inhere. Every thy hair, every single hair, is too fragile to handle my love, to handle the pinnace that I load onto you. There needs to be a fitter, as in a fitter vessel. So there needs to be a better ship. Or in this case, it's not a ship anymore, it's a vessel, just a better container to hold our love. I need a better body because I'm in danger of being too much for you because I love you too much. So love can't just live in nothing nor in things, but also nothing that is extreme and scattering bright. So it can't be nothing so beautiful and attractive as your hair. So yeah, definitely there needs to be a vessel. Then as an angel, face and wings of air, not pure as it, yet pure doth wear, so thy love may be my love's sphere, just such disparity as is twixt air and angel's purity, twixt women's love and men will ever be. So then, as an angel takes on a body made out of wings and of air, although the air is not as pure itself as the angel, because the air is not quite purity, but an angel is like this godly being, so it's something more pure than even air, the body still does wear. So the body still wears away. So although your love may be my love sphere, so although we kind of exist in relation to each other and we found each other as vessels, my love still makes it fraught. It still wears it, even though it embodies our love. And likewise, this disparity, this difference, as is this difference between the purity and of the air and the purity of angels, is just as women's love and men's love. So Donne is saying that it will always be this way, and you inhabit the woman's body and I become the angel. So we become stronger together is basically the message from this. Very difficult conceit for saying a very simple thing, which is that like your love gives me a body because your love keeps me grounded, and I almost wish that we had a different body to contain our emotions because I feel for you so strongly. So notice how the first stanza of this poem was about the body. The second stanza was like the links of the divine and the soul, and how there's more to love between a man and a woman, and it's not about a physical touch, it's about a chance for a man to experience something spiritual, something different. So we really see that kind of transformation go through the rest of the poem, that disconnect between the first and the second part, which is why it perhaps almost feels like two separate sonnets. And this remark about twixt air, it's interesting because he seems to be concluding that love only comes into this world because the purity of love is different. So he's saying that rather than thinking that like this difference is a bad thing, it's the thing that really makes us be who we are, that really allows us to love. Maybe my love might be an angel, maybe your love is air, maybe I'm like the all-powerful and you're supposed to just be like the female body, the vessel to contain me, but without each other we are nothing. We exist to complement each other. So in a way, Donne manages to somehow conclude by saying, hey, we're equally important in this relationship, even though at first it seems like a strange idea to say, oh, like your body can't contain my love for you, so maybe you should just change the body. So it's definitely a more nuanced take than a lot of the earlier poems that we have seen in this playlist, which is why I chose to do it now, because I feel like it symbolizes Donne's personal growth as a writer. So I hope that I managed to make this poem at least a tiny bit more straightforward and explain it a bit better. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next week.